Whoa, now it's the motherfucking deal, and welcome to Teams TV, the home for Texas entertainment, arts, media, and sports, where we will be bringing you the news you can use, primarily out of Texas, for sure. But as you can see, we are a new channel, so we're gonna need your help to get us to 1,000 subscribers. So go ahead, it don't take but a quick second to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, and it's a small gesture, but it goes a long way. So do us a huge favor, do us a solid, subscribe, all that good stuff. But enough of all that, let's go and get into the story of today. All right, so according to The Guardian, U.S. Army overturns 1917 convictions of 110 black soldiers charged with mutiny. All right, so the U.S. Army is overturning the convictions of 110 black soldiers, 19 of whom were executed for a mutiny at a Houston military camp a century ago. An effort, they say, to atone for imposing harsh punishments linked to Jim Crow era racism. But they still don't want to pay black descendants of American slavery reparations. Yeah, but let's continue. U.S. Army officials announced the historic reversal on Monday during a ceremony posthumously honoring the regiment known as the Buffalo Soldiers, who had been sent to Houston in 1917 during the First World War to guard a military training facility. Clashes arose between the regiment and white police officers and civilians, and 19 people were killed. We cannot change the past. However, this decision provides the Army and the American people an opportunity to learn from this difficult moment in our history, Gabe Camarillo, the Undersecretary of the Army, said in a statement. The South Texas College of Law first requested the Army look into the cases in October 2020 and again in December 2021. The Army then received clemency petitions from retired general officers on behalf of the 110 soldiers. At the Secretary of the Army's petition, the Army Board for Corrections of Military Records reviewed records of the cases and found that significant deficiencies permeated the cases. The proceedings were found to be fundamentally unfair, according to the Army's statement. The board members unanimously recommended all convictions be set aside and the military service of the soldiers to be characterized as honorable. Christine Wormuth, the Secretary of the Army, said in the statement that the move marked the Army's acknowledgement of past mistakes and sets the record straight. After a thorough review, the board was found that these soldiers were wrongfully treated because of their race and were not given fair trials. Wormuth said, military records will be corrected to the extent possible to recognize service as honorable, and their families might be eligible for compensation, according to the Army. But why might? Why not give them folks what's owed to them? You know what I'm saying? See, they be so tight pocket when it come to black Americans, but they can just shell out money to the Afghans, the Ukrainians, whoever, long as it ain't black Americans, and they owe us reparations. We built this country from ground up. Don't let them forget that, and don't let them tell you otherwise. But let's continue. In August 1917, 4 months after the U.S. entered the First World War, soldiers of the all-black 3rd Battalion of the U.S. Army's 24th Infantry Regiment, also known as the Buffalo Soldiers, marched into Houston, where clashes erupted following racial provocations. The regiment had been sent to Houston to guard Camp Logan, which was under construction for the training of white soldiers who would be sent to France during the First World War. The city was then governed by Jim Crow laws, and tensions boiled over. Law enforcement officials at the time described the events as a deadly and premeditated assault by the soldiers on a white population. See what I'm saying? This is how they painted the narrative then, and they still love to paint narratives now. But I digress. Let's continue. Historians and advocates say the soldiers responded to what was thought to be a white mob heading for them. Ain't no thought. That's what it was. You know what I'm saying? You have to use your words correctly, man, because if you don't, then people will misconstrue them. And if you don't be definite with your words, that leaves the gate open for people to bend and twist. So be definite. The historians should say the soldiers responded to a white mob that was heading for them. that is more feasible. But I digress. Out of 118 soldiers, 110 were found guilty in the largest murder trial in U.S. history. 19 of them were hanged. According to the Army statement, the first executions happened secretly a day after sentencing. It led to immediate regulatory changes prohibiting future executions without review by the War Department and the President. Families of the soldiers may be entitled to benefits and can apply through a U.S. Army Board for correction of military records. Today is a day I believe would happen, Jason Hout, a descendant in the attendance at the ceremony, said, according to the Houston Chronicle. I always did. All right, man. So, what you think? Leave me your thoughts below. How y'all feel about this? See, to me, it doesn't mean nothing unless they pay the descendants of their family what they are rightfully owed and not just any honorable mentions. You feel me? We get all of these symbolism, tokenism things in the black community by the government, but we don't get any tangibles. Nothing that can actually economically change us. See, we need land. We need finances. You see what I'm saying? We don't need honorable mentions and slogans and things of that nature. We need to get to the bread. Cut that check, U.S. But anyway, I digress. I appreciate you for pulling up to Teams TV. Make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Oh, God, we need to get to 1,000 subscribers. Leave me your thoughts below. Until next time, we out.